Hey, I'm all alone and I'm live with all my friends. Hello, it's just me, Adam, today with Hospiamo. My brother Matt and I both are busy at 3 o'clock. Right now it's 3 o'clock and you're watching this live, but secret, I'm pre recording it because we both had something pop up at 3 o'clock today. So this is going to be somewhat of a quick one. Probably not. I could go on for 2 hours about this topic. Um, but thank you all for watching and listening. We're talking about the hotel P&L, demystifying it, and it's coming up with a theme of deep, well, use to overuse the term demystifying it because um, we in our business, and it's probably like this in all businesses, but I'm in the hospitality and hotel business of owning and operating and asset managing and real estate investments and operations. And we tend to complicate things with big words, and it's quite intimidating. And I experienced that as a young manager, and kind of stopped asking the questions that I was very curious about because um, I just thought that I would look stupid, to be honest, and so, um, I tried my best to learn it as much as I could, and it took me a really long time. Um, so what we do here is, invite people on the show to talk about how simple this business of ours is, and this theme that we are talking about today is something that if you all want to go check it out, but Hospiamo has a YouTube channel, right? Just type in Hospiamo. I think it's youtube.com/ at Hospiamo. And I think it was the first video that I ever produced. It was called Nothing is Impossible as long as or you can own your own $10 million hotel and you don't need as much as you might think. I don't know what the title was, but um, but it was of the attitude is that I have been very fortunate and lucky to have really wonderful people around me, right? And I don't have a 4-year degree. I don't have high education. You could tell by the way I talk and the way I look. I'm kind of just a regular person, but I do have a little bit of an ownership piece in a couple hotels. And I work with amazing, beautiful people every day, at least 90% of my day. 5, 6, 8, 10, 15 years ago, still had great, wonderful people around me. It just, I wasn't as much in control of it, you know? So this perspective of what we're talking about today is to let everyone know. And this is obviously recorded and this is on a loop. And so the people that I'm really speaking to are the people that I'll just call the hotel general manager. There's 60,000 hotels in the United States today, and there's about 60,000 hotel general managers, and they all have a team of about 5 or 6 supervisors and managers on average. And um, uh, I really felt like there were barriers for me being highly experienced and being a good team leader to ever becoming any kind of owner of anything, right? And what I've learned over the past about 10 years or so is that it really does have more to do with the people that you are surrounded by rather than a gigantic bank account. So um, I'm going to talk about averages, and I'm going to bring this up. So the first YouTube video I made was about this right here, and I called it "The Risk and Beauty of Hotel Entrepreneurship or Hospitality Entrepreneurship or just business in general." Um, Excuse me, I just burped. So this is the messy first page, right? So the messy first page is meant to be messy because it is a bit chaotic. It's okay. It's supposed to be a bit chaotic because that's what's beautiful about the hotel industry is that every day is different. Everybody is different. All the guests are different, and it can be chaotic at times. Okay, but that's the message. If you want to have a career in this industry and be a hotel manager, it's awesome. It's like the greatest thing professionally that really ever happened to me was the fact that I entered the industry, and I had some supervisors and mentors and bosses and coworkers and people that I've worked with for many years, and I know that I have done nothing alone. It's all about the other people that have lifted me up, and in turn, I guess I feel an obligation or a debt to help lift other people up the way that other people have lifted me up. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that brings me to so we're shout out to my brother Matt Zimbrowski with Agile Game Changers. Bro, we said that we were going to do this 10 episodes just to be consistent and just to make it a little bit better every day. And I think that we've been doing that, right? We've been doing it every Thursday for now 21 weeks, bro. And I love you and thank you for pushing me into the deep end here. So 21 means a lot to me, and it means a lot to Hospiamo. It's on the front page of our website if you want to go see it, but it's all about this here. I got the shirt. So this is from the Roberto Clemente Museum. And Roberto Clemente's quote is on our front page, and it is our guiding compass. I can't say enough about Roberto Clemente and about how he lived his life, about his family. Roberto Clemente Jr., I follow him on LinkedIn. So the quote on the website, I'm going to interpret it in my own way. Okay, so um, how he lived his life. He was an expert in something, right? Baseball, but he had a dream of having like a baseball city in Puerto Rico. And the reason why it wasn't because he loved baseball is because he knew that the people in his neighborhood, very poor neighborhood, he wanted a place where dads could bring their kids and to be together and to be with them to do something, and that something was baseball. And that dream eventually came true. Unfortunately, he died before his career was over, but not before he had 3,000 hits for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And um, it was 50 years ago this past New Year's Eve that he passed away. And how did he pass away? He died in a plane crash. Um, I believe what I'm about to say is correct. I might have the countries mixed up, but I know that he was coming from Puerto Rico. He was bringing food and resources to Puerto Rico, and then he went from a plane to help out, I think it was Nicaragua. And so he jumped on a plane with a bunch of food and resources to help people from Puerto Rico flying to Nicaragua, and his plane crashed tragically. Uh, Please learn as much as you can about that man, and what he stood up for, and what drove him and what motivated him. Um, and so I will, because this is episode number 21, it really does mean a lot. My brother and I never thought that we would get to episode 21, but I always had. I talk about the number a lot, almost on I think every episode, because his quote is here, and I will read it to you from the website at hospiamo.com. And then so that you know that I just interpreted it. So it says our guiding compass. This is the quote from Roberto Clemente. If you have a chance to accomplish something that will make things better for the people coming behind you, and you don't do that, you are wasting your time on this earth. I will let that marinate with you, and I will move on here. Okay. So happy episode number 21. We are moving on to the risk and the beauty of being, of eventually, if you want to own your own $10 million hotel. So a lot of averages here. Okay. So the average hotel, 125 rooms, $125 average daily rate. Average cost to purchase an average hotel is about $10 million. Okay. So, not an average movie, but Forrest Gump is are the characters that bought this imaginary hotel, Jenny and Bubba. And so that's who we're going to be talking about today. This is the messy part, but I'm going to go down to the first part here. So, please visit the YouTube episode. I go into a lot of detail around a research project that we did, and it was a personality project about Mr. Marriott, Mr. Hilton in particular, and a number of others. And we found that the greatness that they had in common was that they did embrace the risk and the beauty of hospitality. Okay. And that's what this is all about. So we also found that they are typically their companies, when they were responsible for the employees at the property level, which another research project, which we will share with you if you'd like, but they're not responsible for over 90% of the employees at the property level any longer. Franchisees are. Okay. And so what they were at was top 5% of employee engagement and loyalty, top 5% of traveler loyalty and trust. They were the most trusted by builders, real estate developers. They had very strong emotional intelligence. They embraced and pretty much invented the service profit chain organizational culture. And they have legions of successful and loyal alumni, myself included, okay, of both of those organizations. So, what do they get in return? They have things named in their honor, little things like schools, scholarships, apprenticeships, foundations, and actual highways. Okay, so just a little bit of impact that they've had on all of our lives. And they did it with simplicity here. So, Jenny and Bubba, I'm going to do this fairly quickly. And so, if you want a copy of this, I'll share it with you. Text me. You all, anyone who's watching here, you know my cell phone number. You can reach me at adam@hospiamo.com if you'd like. And I'll share this with you, and I'll tell you more in detail if you have any questions. Okay. So Jenny and Bubba bought. They want to buy a $10 million hotel. Okay, this is how they did it. And you may not be able to see it here if you. I hope that you can. This is being recorded here, so look closely. They buy a $10 million hotel, and then they change the name to the Bubba Jen Hotel. It's 125 rooms, $125 ADR or average daily rate, 70% occupancy. They sell 32,000 room nights a year. That's about 65,000 overnight guests. And the total revenue every year is about $4 million. And so the average revenue for an average hotel is about $300,000 in room revenue, average. It's important. I profile here the who's paying for all of this, right? So after they buy it, and I'm going to go into how they bought it, guests stay at the hotel. Who are the guests? Well, the market for experience, these are people that want to experience hospitality and tourism in America. These are people who live, eat, sleep, work, create an income for themselves, and they produce something and they consume something. Okay, these are just everybody that eat at a restaurant or travel at a hotel. This is the everyday public. Again, trying to keep this very simple here. So customers, guests, overnight travelers, they come visit a hotel, this hotel, and they pay money. Okay. So how did Bubba and Jenny, how did Bubba and Jenny buy this hotel? All right. So this is the reality of it. Okay. So they're not millionaires. Okay. They had $25,000 each in savings. Okay. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for me. I get it. Okay. But it's not millions. Okay. They each had $25,000 in savings. They put that together and they formed an LLC. They also both had decent credit. Okay, so they were able to look a lender in the eye and say, "This is my credit history," and so they lived a good credit life, which means they have a good reputation with managing money, and they also saved uh, a significant amount in cash that they had and that they want to put together. So they got about $50,000. So um, there's you can be 20 years old and have that. You can be 50, you can be 90 years old and have that. Okay. So, um, what else did they have? Okay. They have friendly sources. They have people that they know and that they've created trust with. They have a lot more money than Bubba and Jenny have. Okay. So they secured $250,000 from friendly sources, and we'll call them the GP investors. Okay. That's general partnership. Um, so they've got $300,000, and they used that to guarantee a limited partnership or an LP investment from a big private equity, big intimidating real estate investment firm. And they said, "Listen, we got 300,000 bucks. We want to go buy this $10 million hotel. What do you got?" And they said, "All right, we got $3.2 million," and then they put that 6.5. Sorry, they took 3.2 and they put it together with the 300,000, so they got 3.5 million, and they went after with that, and with that partnership, um there's no money exchanged yet at this point. Okay. And they went out to go get a loan from a regional bank for $6.5 million, and so very simply, 6.5 million, 3.5 million, and they started with just one person with $25,000. Just remember that. Okay. And decent credit, and a best friend and in Jenny, or a best friend in Bubba. Okay. Moving on. The Bubba Jen Hotel. Average revenue, back what I was saying about room revenue, right, is $300,000. We're looking at the month of May. I'm not going to address the naysayers on this um, on this podcast, this recording. Okay, there's a lot of naysayers out there. To everyone out there that can do this, I'm speaking to you. There's going to be a lot of people that tell you that what I'm telling you right now is not true. They're going to say, "Well, there's a lot of this and a lot of that." Well, you can't really do that with $25,000, but can you? I don't know. $300,000 an average, it's really not the average. I don't know. $10 million is not the average for a hotel. You need to know a lot. You got to be certified in real estate asset management and investments. No one's going to believe you. No one's going to trust you. It's all bull. Okay. Follow this, simplify it for yourself. And if you need some help, you can call me. But all those naysayers out there, it's because they think what they do, and again, I have been in that position. They think what they do is very complicated, and you need to be at a very high level or part of some sort of club in order to understand this, in order to get all this, in order to make all this happen. You don't. I'll leave it at that. So the mortgage, okay? The mortgage is about $60,000 a month, and that's about 20% that they put off to the bank and the LP investors. Okay, that's the investment. You got to pay the investors. You got to pay the bank. The bank gets paid first, right? Not on the P&L, which we're going to look at, but it's don't get it twisted. If you don't pay the bank, they're going to take the hotel back, and it's theirs. You're borrowing this hotel. Okay, you're putting a little bit of money, but you're borrowing this hotel from the bank, and that's why these banks and these LP investors and the GP investors are very, very, very important to build trust with. Okay, and to have good, to make sure that you do your own due diligence to make sure that they're good people. Okay, so 1 month, you got $300,000 in revenue. That's your top line revenue, right? And let's just say it's just 1 month. So you got $300,000 to spend. You got guests coming in, you got guests coming out. You're serving them some things. You're serving them with a great experience. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You got a lot of team members there. You have management, you got salaries, you got wages, you got vendors. Okay, you got to buy soap, shampoo, linen. You got to take care of the building and keep it safe. You have licenses. There's a lot going on here. Okay. But Bubba can do it. Jenny can do it. Forrest Gump can do it. I can do it. And I'm just a big dummy. Okay. So you got to pay the mortgage and your investors. And that's $60,000. So now you have here, it says $240,000. I hope that you can read this. So you get $300,000 to start the month. Now you have $240,000 because you paid the mortgage and the investors. Next, fixed costs. Okay. These are the things that don't really change too much. Okay. Taxes, insurance, and reserves. Reserves are about 4% of your revenue that you take out every month. And that's really just your savings account. Okay. You can use it. It's for the ownership group, Bubba and Jenny. Jenny and Bubba to use in order to put back into the building or make a a lot of times the lender asks or requires you to do that, to take 4% of the revenue. And then you got to put it aside for taxes and insurance also. Okay. And that averages out to $30,000 or 10%. So you got 20% bank investors. You got 10% taxes, insurance, and reserves. Now your bank account has $210,000 in it. What's next? Marketing fees, sales, branding. All of this is inside of what somebody might call a franchise fee or whatever it might be, but all of it adds up to about 20%. That's $60,000. So now your bank account has $150,000 in it. And over here it says like, whoa, 50% of your guest revenue has left the building just for existing, just for being there, and just for attracting the demand and revenue. So it's gone, 50%. What's next? Remember, risk and beauty. Remember that, risk and beauty. Another 10% goes to the building, utilities, energy, electrical bill, repairs, maintenance. Another 10% goes to supplies and IT and tech. Supplies are, soap and vendors and linens and systems. So now your bank account is at 90,000. Well, what happened here? People. Okay, they're 30% at least. Wages, labor, insurance, benefits, salaries, management fees for the management company. Management companies are the unsung heroes of our entire industry, and you probably don't know most of their names. If I had my way, you're going to know every single one of their name, but that's for another episode. $90,000 in that month, 30%. So now you're down to zero. Uh-oh. At this point, significant risk, right? Okay. Who's at risk? The operation, employers, workers, and community. Minimal risk are the marketing and branding agencies because you're paying them. They're come out of that initial fee there. So fixed totals are 90,000. Variable are 210,000. All right. You can add it up. Jen and Bubba are the GP investors and the shareholders. Potential profit and loss for May is zero. But remember, you've paid your mortgage, you've paid your investors. It's just unfortunately Jenny and Bubba, and you've paid all the employees, all your team members. You've paid the brand, if there's a brand. You've paid all your marketing fees. You've kept everybody safe. It's just that Jen and Bubba don't have anything left over in this month. Now think about January. So this is May, which is an average month. That means that January is a below average month in this example, and then October is an above average month. So January, using the same numbers and the same margins, okay? This is a profit and loss statement. This is a very pretty and beautiful profit and loss statement and very simplified, demystified. If you want a detailed P&L statement, I have about 400,000 of them, and each of them have like 160 lines on them. It would seem like it's complicated, but it's not. It's this. Just nice pretty blues and greens and pinks and purples. Using the same numbers, January is at a loss. Okay, they're actually losing technically on paper. They got to use some of their reserves. Remember that 4%? They got to use some of that to pay for the loss in January because they're down 20,000. But then in October, they're up 50,000. In May, it's about flat. It's 0, right? So total for the year, how that works out is that the profit available for distribution to themselves or other expenses that they might have after they pay the mortgage or the debt, after they pay their investors, after they pay the employees, after they've been owning and operating this hotel and spending all that money, on average, they're going to come back with about $200,000 to keep for their own, not for their own wallet, but they're going to put it in the bank account, and that's going to help fund what? The next year. And we'll get into all that. Now, that's the beauty of it, right? So potentially, they're able to pay themselves $200,000. Now, these are two people, the owners, that have hired a management company that they don't own. They're paying to manage it. And Bubba and Jenny have families. So it's the equivalent of two very well-paying full-time jobs of about $100,000 each that they're bringing in from this one hotel. And how did they do that? They used their own money in order to make this happen, about $25,000 each. So now they're getting paid a salary, we call it a salary, of about $100,000 each. It's pretty cool. You spend 25 once, and then you start making 100,000 in yourself as a salary. I mean, that's a pretty cool job, I think. So that's the beauty of it. Remember here, the risk? So the money comes in from the guests. Sorry, the money comes in from the bank and the investors in order to buy it, and from Jenny and Bubba. They've got it. They've got this asset, and they get it up to the point where guests want to stay there. They want to pay money to stay there. And they come in, and this is where it flows down. So you can see the arrow comes down, and then you bring in that money from the guests and you spend the money. And then it comes back up around, and it's a constant circle every single day, every single month, every single year. And that's where the risk comes in. Does it always work out this way? Is it always average? Absolutely not. I've been in this business, and I've, I think, 3 major impact times was 9/11. I was a front desk manager at a hotel, and then the Great Recession of 2008, 9, and 10. I was a regional director with about 20 hotels. And then most recently with the pandemic of COVID-related business, the hotel industry in particular got crushed. And a lot of people left and didn't come back. The industry's doing great, revenue-wise, profit-wise, doing great. Great. But we're still down and short about 400,000 people. So that's the reality of it. I am going to finish up here. So what else did I have here? I haven't been through this in a little bit. So, oh yeah, I did talk about the naysayers. So take a screenshot of this if you want. 1, regular people can buy a hotel. Yes, there are roadblocks, hills and valleys, and unexpected falling rocks, just like the Transcontinental Railroad. If you ever want to see a good show, besides Forrest Gump, watch Hell on Wheels. It's amazing. And just look at what they did. And these were all regular people that made that happen. Yes, it's possible, but two things need to happen. One, you need people and a support system. You need to attract and hold on to the right people around you. Two, you got to understand your why. So spend time on understanding who you are. And if you have a genuine care, I don't know what I typed up here. Your reasons must be aligned with your personal values, passions, and purpose in your life. Through this process of since kind of going into my own business, I thought I knew my passion and purpose in life, but only did when I kind of went off on my own did I absolutely realize it. Okay, that this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now, talking to you all. I might be talking to zero people, by the way, and that's fine. Or I could be talking to millions. Um, Anyways, you got to go through the process and understanding who you are. Okay, and again, if you want to know more about that, go to hospiamo.com or our nonprofit educational 501c3. It's called hospitalityimpact.org or Hospitality Industry Impact Initiative. And it's awesome. And it uses the Ikigai framework of understanding yourself and your value and then going out into the world. And so learn more about it. It's beautiful. Ikigai, Ikigai. It's a Japanese inspired framework for living and for your career. Okay. All right. So what the naysayers will tell you, they're going to tell you that it's not simple. They're going to tell you that real estate is not hospitality. They're going to tell you that they're going to say, oh, you have an attorney. You have to have an attorney, right? Who's your broker? Okay, right off the bat, they're going to, oh, I don't have an attorney. I got $25,000 and I got Jenny. Jenny's got $25,000 and she's got Bubba, but they just they've got good credit. They know a lot of really great, wonderful people that trust them. But Bubba, they're asking us about an attorney. We don't have an attorney yet. Most people say, oh man, I didn't even know that we need a broker, an attorney. So right there, about 50, 60, 70% of people just be like, you're right. No, we need to be a part of the club that gets this. And we can't do that right now. So let's just quit for now. And maybe we'll look at it next year. Don't do that. Those are the naysayers. They don't even know that they're the naysayers. These are amazing, wonderful people. And when they ask you those questions, they're not trying to discourage you. So don't be discouraged. Is this hotel on market or off market? It's more jargon. It's all bull. Just as long as you know, you can answer it. I mean, you can figure all that out. That's why you got to have good people around you. Anyways, oh yeah, I love that part. Do you know Bob Johnson? Do you know Jennifer this or that? Oh, if and then again, Jenny and Bubba, you got money, you got people around you, you got a decent credit, and you have a dream, and they start asking you if you know all these people and you don't, that's discouraged. You're going to feel discouraged. Don't be discouraged. It doesn't matter. Have you received other offers for capital? And you're like, I don't know. What's your skin in the game? What's your track record of investment returns? Love that one. The lending landscape is volatile. Banks are likely not to lend to a first timer. Well, now you're thinking I'm a first timer. I didn't even know I was a first timer. I just have a dream. I got a little bit of money. I got some decent credit, and I got great people around me. I didn't know that I needed to have some sort of profile with a bank, so I quit. I don't go towards my dream. I get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Keep on moving forward. Oh, there are no guarantees, but how are you going to guarantee that our money is safe, like the LP or the bank? There are no guarantees. So if they start asking you for guarantees, just find somebody else. There are no guarantees. When they talk about guaranteeing a loan, that's different. That's legal and it's different. But if somebody's looking to invest with you, tell them, what's my guarantee that you're going to be a good partner? And see how they answer that. This is the worst. This is something to be aware of. It's when they say this. This all sounds really great. You obviously have done well in your life. You've saved up some money. You've got good people around you. You've got decent credit. You've got a dream. We believe in you. Come to our office. Prepare a pitch for us, a business plan. Bring your track record. Bring your investment structure and your defined ROI, return on investment, or IRR, whatever that might be. What's your asset management plan for us? Put it all together. Let's schedule a meeting. How much time do you need? And you're thinking like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And they're like, sure, no problem. You set a date. That's what they call the dog and pony show. You do all that work. And then you go up there and they say, after the pitch, they say, this is a great hotel. It's very interesting. We really like you. Call us when you get this further down the field. And you're like, what? I just watched Adam on the podcast, and they said that all I needed was this, this, and this, and I got good people around me. What do you mean? You said you like me. You think this is interesting, and we like you. So what do you mean further down the field? All right. Be very careful about spending a lot of time with people that want you to do more work, like want you to like come up there and see them and things like that. And so again, they have great intentions. These are good people. These are very successful people that want to help you. In my experience, they just don't know how to tell you. They don't know how to tell you, and they have their own interests involved too. They do like you. They want to see you, but man, when it takes 3 weeks, you might be crushed after that point. Especially if you have another job, or if this is just a side gig or a side dream kind of a thing. So after they say, call us later, when you get this further down the field and you're thinking like, what the heck does that mean? You are left feeling that this is impossible. So you ask the same real estate capital investors to buy the hotel the hotel themselves, and then hire you to manage it for 3% of the revenues. Remember the management company that takes all that out of there to employ everybody and that do so much for the industry. And then they're going to ask you, "Oh, that's fine. Maybe we will do that." But have you ever done that before? What's your track record? Back to step one. I should just keep working at the hotel and start a YouTube channel for extra money. That's what I typed in there. All right. So on that note, you know, I said it was going to be quick and it was 46 minutes. So that'll work. Please contact me, contact my brother, Matt, Adam Zimbruski. My brother is Matt Zimbruski, Matt at agilegamechangers.com, Adam at hospiamo.com. Thank you so much. We very much appreciate you. And this is all about our people. And I hope that this was educational. So number 21, episode number 21, Roberto Clemente. Bro, we did it. I love you.